Who else has a question, please?
Please?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Joyce.
Joyce, welcome.
Thank you. I wanted to build on a comment you made during your comment section about people not knowing how to die.
People not knowing how to die,
Right.
yes.
So could you give us the instructions?
Well, we talked about it for years, and yes, instructions are very important. There's a few considerations, Joyce. You can make a plan now, like a will. You will your willpower as to how you want to leave this earth and where you want to go and what your intentions are after death. And it would be advisable for all of you to do this, and you write it out like you would a will. That way it's really clear, and you don't have to show it to anyone. It's for you. It's for your intentions. And that will, you can think about it every now and again, and then it will guide you it will set the stage for when you are going over. Now, if you die suddenly and you have that will in place, it's going to be in place. The will of what I want when I pass over, where I want my consciousness, my soul, my energy to go. Where things get a little bit confusing, and where this is where family prayers and all of this or guidance can help, is if you are heavily medicated. That can change, alter things, and of course how many people are heavily medicated as they depart? Many, 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 which makes them confused, vulnerable, and highly recycled into certain programs. And then, of course, your beliefs, what you believe. If you are a strongly religious person and you have certain expectations through your religious beliefs, then those religious beliefs are going to prevail. And because the 90%, maybe not that high, let's be generous and say 75% of the planet has got some religious affiliation or another. And of course, no one thinks to question if these affiliations make sense. And this is, of course, a big downfall of consciousness. Do you question why all religions believe in sky gods, but there's no such thing as ETs or UFOs?
That's a good thought.
But everyone prays to sky gods, and everyone's religion says their God is the only God. Then if you are a Muslim, Catholic, a Jew, you're not going to look at the other religions. So this is how you are controlled. You start fighting with them or thinking something's wrong with them. But if you de-religionize yourself, which is very in vogue today, Saturn in Sagittarius is going to bring everyone into new considerations about religion over the next year, and has for the past year, you start to say, does this story make sense? And why do some people have to hop on a foot, and some people have to spin, and some people have to wear beanies, and some people can eat this, and some people can eat this, and they can't do this, and they can't do that? This is the advantage of looking at the world today. And of course, as our students know, all religions on earth, and that is A-L-L with all capital letters, no exceptions, are derived or derivatives of the Anunnaki control system of your planet. So having spirituality, having respect for some creator that has been behind all of this, because all you have to do and look to see whether it is a seashell or your DNA, there's design, there's purpose, there's significance, there's reason. And you are outgrowing the old stories of Anunnaki control. And even though these Anus have set up religions, the question to ask yourself is, are we as a society smart enough and cooperative enough to set up rules that we will follow? Don't cheat, don't lie, don't kill, don't take your neighbor's wife, etc. So on some level, these sky gods have made rules that you call religion, And even though many of them are very bogus, it's the rules, the rules to keep you from destroying each other that have to be reevaluated and kept. And as we look at your world, there's too much cheating. People think they can get away with cheating. So on some level, you are going to be in a big turmoil when you realize that you've been praying to ETs who are simply more advanced versions of yourself, but they are not God. Gods, yes, they've played the role of all the gods, but they are not the prime creator. So people with those belief systems are going to get recycled and trapped. You want to die quickly with no pain. Although if you want to drag it out, that's up to you. Some people like the whole ceremony of dragging it out. How you want it is up to you. We would say the ideal death is to sit down after an enjoyable meal that you've had with loved ones, a really good meal, and say, I'm a bit tired, I'm going to take a nap, and then that's it. You depart. And that when you depart, you go to the other side, you aim for the forces that are working in your favor, higher forces that, higher selves, whatever you want to name them, that are going to help you advance your consciousness and give you a free range of choice. And that you are not available for quick recycling or to be the puppet of any of these world religions. So these are things to think through. Anything else, Joyce?
No, that was very helpful. Thank you.
All right, good. Just remember, when you are in pain and you are exiting in pain, it can really, really distract you and throw you off. And there's no need to be in pain. You can decide at any point. You don't have to be afraid, Mom died this way, Grammy died this way, Grampy died this way, they had cancer, this and this. You can say to yourself, I like this after lunch, after dinner model. It may not work for your family, but do you want to drag it out for your family? And then in addition to having a post-exit plan, you'd better have a plan for your family too, as to disposing of your goods and services, meaning your monies, your home, and your physical body. We don't really recommend, what do they call that when they pierce you and they fill you with chemicals? Embalming, yes. That comes right out of Egypt, That's where the embalming technique was invented, in Egypt. And the reason the Egyptians embalmed was because they did believe in an afterlife, of course, and they also were very in touch. They were an Anunnaki colony. And they were taught that when they went through the 12 gates, the Anunnaki always use 12. Zodiac, whether it is the jurors, the apostles, 12 is always a sign that you are in Anunnaki territory. The 12 gates they went through would get them into all kinds of malarkey, but they wanted their bodies preserved because they believed that at some time the gods would return and claim the DNA and bring it back to life. And Christianity, a lot of Christianity was modeled after the Egyptian religion, and of course the Bible, as all of you know, or if you haven't, you know now, was modeled, the Old Testament, after the stories in Sumer, the ancient stories of the Sumerians, the Akkadians, and they were, of course, taking dictation from the Anunnaki. So all of your big books, your religions, everything comes from heaven, but from visitors from heaven. And Anu, the emperor of this Anunnaki, Anu, A-N-U, Anu world order, that's his Anu world order coming. Anu also translates as heaven. So when you say you are going to heaven, you are going to Anu. Tricky, yes? Oh, very tricky.